Saturday morning, I should be relaxing, right? Yeah, I'm sitting here with this knot in my stomach because of a decision that me and my business partner just made. And honestly, it scares the shit out of me. We just invested in one of the biggest and most expensive agency coaches in this space. One of the best though. And I know exactly what you're thinking, and I've heard it many times before. Why are you taking that risk now? You're finally getting everything sorted. Why rock the boat? Just coast for a bit. Just enjoy what you've built. And honestly, I've been hearing that from the time that I got started. Someone's always got an opinion on what I should do and how I should go about doing it. They said that when I started my first business. People said that when I hired my first employee, and they'll say the same thing on my next big move as well. Here's the thing, I really need you to hear this. That voice telling you to play it safe, that's not wisdom, it's fear. And fear is the death of growth. If you're a builder doing $750K to $2 million a year right now, riding the word of mouth wave, maybe you're thinking the same thing. Things are okay, why invest in marketing now? The economy's turning back around. Why take the risk? Let me tell you why, exactly why, not doing anything about your current situation is the biggest risk of it all. Look, I get it, fear is real. When you started your first business, you were at zero. You had nothing to lose. You had everything to gain, right? You're hungry for it, you want more, you've got a burning desire for more, and you've got nothing to lose. So like, what's the biggest risk, right? Biggest risk is you just stay where you already are, and you're already at rock bottom, or at worst case scenario, right? But now, it's different, right? Now you might have a team of 5, a team of 3, a team of 8, a team of 15, with people depending on you. Wages to pay every Friday, your own family now potentially depending on your income, subcontractors, suppliers, rent, car payment, insurance, mortgages, and maybe you've got a reputation that you need to uphold as well. And the thought of investing anything over high 4 figures or above is completely terrifying. Maybe spending $8,000, maybe spending $15,000, maybe spending $20,000 seems like a nightmare right now. And I know this because I have hundreds of calls between me, myself, and my team every single week with builders like you. Every single week. I always hear things like, I don't know if it's 100% if it's going to work out. We have more expenses now. We have more team members. Investing at this level almost feels riskier than before. What if it doesn't work? What if I waste the money? Brother, I feel you. I'm feeling that same feeling right now this morning. We just made this investment yesterday. I'm feeling exactly the same way. Because here's what they don't tell you about being an entrepreneur. The fear never goes away. It just gets bigger stakes. But here's the paradox that you need to understand, right? The thing that got you here is the exact thing that you're afraid to do right now. Think about it. You left a steady job. Maybe you were getting a salary. Maybe you were getting a wage. You knew that you could knock off around 5 p.m. You knew that you could get your weekends off. You knew that you could take holidays. You could get weekends off. You could spend the time with your family. You could be present. And you gave up the guaranteed paychecks, the holidays, the benefits, not having to feel all of this fear all the time, the anxiety of having to make paychecks with your team, trying to get all the jobs and putting all of those hats on yourself. You risked all of that for years, all in the pursuit of more freedom. And now that you're here, maybe you're making $750K a year, maybe you're making $1 million, maybe you're making 1.5, maybe you're making more, and you want to stop taking risks. You know what's crazy is wanting to play it safe, right? That is the most dangerous thing that you could do. Because here's what playing it safe actually looks like for a builder doing over $1 million a year. You keep relying on word of mouth. Maybe you get 2 jobs this month. Maybe you get 8. Maybe you get 15. Maybe you don't get any at all. But you never really know, right? Some months you're turning work away because you've got so much. Other months you're scrambling for work, or maybe even taking on labor-only jobs or subcontracting you guys out just to make payroll. Wife might ask you, how's the pipeline looking? And you say, yeah, it's coming along. But really, you're stressed out, you're worried, you don't know where the next job is coming up, or you're worried because you've got too much work on and now you don't have enough guys. It's this consistent up and flow wave that you're riding. You can't plan, you can't scale because it's inconsistent. If you want to get more jobs in, you have to wait for them to come to you, but then by the time they come to you, you don't have the team, so you can't take it all on. And then you might go and hire a guy, but then the next month you don't get as many jobs and then you have to let them go. And you know that this is going to happen, so you just don't do anything at all. You just stay where you are. But the worst part is you know that you have capacity for more, right? Like you know deep inside of you, you could do more. You know you could be doing 2, 3, 5, $10 million a year if you had a consistent pipeline, but you won't invest in the solution because you think it's risky. Let me ask you something. What successful entrepreneur, like truly successful, not someone that's just making $1 million, yes, that is successful, but what, like someone that's making 10, 20, 30, $40 million a year, what business owner do you know only took one risk and stopped and said, oh yeah, that's enough risk taking now, I'm just going to sign off with that and just stay here. It doesn't exist. That person doesn't exist. That's not a thing. That's not reality. Now, I can hear all the objections, all the things already coming up inside your head. I've heard it, like I said, I've heard it 1,000 times, and let me address everything that's going on in your head right now. Look, I get it. You've probably spent 5, 10, 20, 50K running ads maybe before. Maybe you've worked with a different agency. You've gone and brought some leads from someplace. I get it. Everyone's usually had a shot at something. And now you're gun shy, right? Because you got delivered garbage leads, they never converted, and you feel as though you just wasted your money. But let me ask you this. When you hired your first employee and they sucked, did you say, I'm never hiring again? Or did you learn what to do, what that person needs to have, the skill set they need to have, the level they need to be playing at, the experience they need to have, go again and go and hire someone else? We both know the answer. The problem wasn't marketing, right? It was the way your marketing was being executed. Either you tried to do it yourself, or you tried to do it the cheap way. You didn't want to spend that much. You just went and got someone that's going to give you a good price and just do the little amounts, right? Or you gave up after 30 days and you didn't even see a result, when you probably should have given it at least 90 days. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe some of you have done it for 90 days. Maybe some of you have done it for longer, and maybe you haven't seen a result. Now, we're sitting over here with us and all of our clients and we're getting results. So what's the problem? It's how your marketing is being executed. Not that marketing doesn't work, because if you look at all of the big successful companies and you look at their budgets, there's a reason why my business partner was the chief finance marketing officer at eBay, and there was a role for that. They were spending $100 million USD per year on marketing, and they had to have someone just and that's some of the biggest companies in the world, right? What I'm talking about here is different. It's not just running a random ad or putting a fucking billboard up or putting your name on a blimp or something, right? This is a system, not a one-off campaign. Not some kid just running your ads. This is a predictable system to help you get an extra 4 to 6 new renovation jobs each month. And if it doesn't get it, we give you every single cent back. That's our guarantee. But I'm not really going to go into all of that right now. Whether you're looking for new builds, you're looking for renovations, if it's kitchen and bathrooms, if it's extensions, if it's maintenance work, it doesn't really matter. You just need to have the right system in place. Now, one of the ones that me and my team, we giggle about a lot. I need to talk to my wife first. Of course you do. You're a team. I get that. But here's what a lot of people don't think about. When you bring in external factors, right, into the business, maybe you've got a business partner, maybe you've got a wife that steps in and helps you with some marketing, maybe they help you with some admin, maybe you've got a different family member, maybe it's a sister, a brother, an auntie, an uncle, whatever it may be, right? We've all kind of got different dynamics. But what conversation are you really having with these people if they're holding you back from going and doing something that's actually going to help you move? But here's what I want you to think about. What conversation are you actually having with these people in your circle? Is it, I found a solution that can help us get the extra $1 to $5 million per year, a consistent flow of jobs coming in every single month, so we've got our pipeline built out, and it lets me stop stressing about work and all of these things so I can be more present and actually show up, be the partner, the friend, the family member, the surfer, the golfer, all of the things that I actually want out of life. I can actually do these things because I'm not stressing or having to work so much because we don't have this problem solved. What do you think? Or do you have a conversation like, yeah, I have this chat with this marketing agency and they want to charge me X amount, per month, and hopefully it gets us some job. What should I do? Anyone without the context of that whole entire conversation, right? Like that first one, they're going to say yes to the first one. That sounds great. Like any loving person would support you to do that because 1, it's going to sort your business out. 2, it's going to sort your life out. But if you have the other conversation, someone that's loving might say don't do that because they don't see the benefits. So we all know that we've got to sell our staff, right? We've got to sell our staff on keeping on showing up, on the vision of the company, of growing and scaling. You've got to sell your co-founders, you've got to sell your business partners, you've got to sell everyone, you've got to sell yourself. You've got to sell yourself that this is worth it. And you've got all your reasons and you've got all the benefits and all the outcomes and all the reasons why you're going to do it. But yet if you go to people in your circle and you don't have the same conversation, and then they don't give you the result maybe that you're hoping for, or maybe they don't want you to do the things that are actually going to help you move forward, or they don't see it the same way as you, like, what do you expect is going to happen? Now, let me tell you, if you're the leader, right, and you've got your business, and we've talked about this at the start, about your family, your staff members that are working for you, Ultimately at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to be able to deliver for everyone in your world, right? That is what we do. We are entrepreneurs, we are leaders. That's just the role that we've found ourselves in, right? Because naturally that's just who we are, and this is how we express it. If you can't make a decision on what you need to do in order to lead your life in the direction that you want to go, on something as simple as helping your business make an extra $1 to $5 million a year, you have a bigger problem. Now, I'm not saying don't involve anyone in your circle. I'm just sharing an example, a different perspective to think about here. Just be the leader, lead the way. People aren't always going to agree with what you're doing. People aren't always going to understand it. But that's not why you got to where you are. You're not doing this to be understood. You're not necessarily doing this to be liked. You're doing this because you know it needs to be done, and that's what leaders do. And as soon as you steer away from that path and start changing that, well, that's what got you here. That's what's going to get you to the next level too, is leading. Like we said at the start, people have probably always doubted you, said you shouldn't do this, said like da-da-da-da-da, who gives a fuck, right? This is my life, this is what I'm doing, I know what I need to do to get there, and here we fucking go, right? People will just follow you because of your certainty, because of your confidence. That's what real men and real leaders do. I hear people saying other things like, what if I invest into marketing and it doesn't work out? What if you don't invest, and what if nothing changes? And you're here in 12 months still relying on referrals, still relying on word of mouth, and each month is different. Still paying either you guys to sit around or overwork, you're still stressing out about your pipeline, you still can't go and do the things you really want to do because there's so much going on. That's the real risk. The real risk is staying exactly where you are right now. And way back when you got into business, you knew that was the risk. You have already taken the risk, and you will have to continue to take the risk if you want to get to the next level. Now, if you don't want to get to the next level, all cool, right? Like if you're happy with who you are, everyone's got different goals, everyone's got different dreams, everyone wants to do different things. So if you're happy with who you are, like God bless you, right? Like that's totally cool. I'm not necessarily talking to you though. I'm talking to the person that does want more, that wants to make more money, that wants to grow their business, that wants to scale, whether that means more freedom, more control over your life, more control over your time, location freedom, you being able to do certain things with your family, with your friends, whatever it may be for you, it doesn't really matter. And you're scared to risk, a few $1,000, whether that be $5,000, whether it be 10, whether it be 15, all to not get to where you want to be, when you've already taken all this bigger, these larger risks than you're already doing right now. And to avoid what? Discomfort, like a little bit of fear, your gut feeling uncomfortable, to avoid the anxiety of trying something new. Let me tell you what really happens when you actually invest in a proper marketing system. Worst case scenario is you learn something, right? You learn, you apply, you get better. You might get 10 quotes in a month. But then if you only get 10 quotes and you're going to close 1 or 2 jobs, well, the next month, you know how to get those 10 quotes. So now you can just increase your volume. You can get 20. Now you can get 2 or 4 jobs. Let me ask you, if I could get you, right? This is just a hypothetical, just to really think about this. If I could get you 15 quotes, could you close 1? If they were pre-qualified, if they'd been speaking to someone, a real person over the phone, they've said they've got a real budget, a real job, they're keen to get moving forward, could you close 1 of them? If the average job was, let's just say $25,000, let's not even say 100, let's not even say 200, let's say $25,000, could you close 1? Could you close 2 out of 15? Could you close 3? Could you make $75,000 from that? Now, that's what happens with all of our clients. That's exactly what happens. They usually close more than that. And this is kind of the worst case scenario, right? And you're sitting on there and you don't want to do anything about it. You want to leave the money on the table. And like the best case scenario, you close, like some of our other clients, $650K in 2 months. $650K in 2 months. Came in wanting to do an extra $1 to $2 million a year, did $650K in 2 months. Best case scenario for you, you're at 750, you're at $1 million, you're at 1.5, you go up to $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million. You can get a team in, you can help service more jobs, you can afford to bring a project manager in. You could literally step away from the business. You could retire early. If you wanted to stay on the boat, if you wanted to go golfing all day, if you wanted to, go to your son's rugby game, whatever it is, right? You become more present, your family relaxes because they feel that energy from you because you're the leader at the end of the day, whether you see that or not. Your wife gets a better husband, your kids get a better father, your friends get a better friend. your staff member get a better boss, you get to enjoy life more. And at the end of the day, the only person that this is up to, and the only person that can do something about this is you. No one's gonna do anything for you. No one's coming to save you. And it's like, what risk do you want to take? You risk staying where you are. And look, you've already made the decision to do something different, and now you're here again. And you feel as though it's like, oh, now I feel like I have to take a step back to take a step forward. It's like one step back, but it's 10 steps forward. Or you just keep trying to take little baby steps and then getting pushed back, and then you're not in control. What if you say things like, maybe you said things to yourself, I'm already fully booked right now. I can't take on more jobs. Cool. So you booked for the next 6 months? You booked for the next 12 months? You booked for the next 24 months, are you? No. So you don't have a pipeline. You have a backlog, and backlogs run out. Here's what smart operators do. They build a pipeline while they're busy. Instead of just staying on the tools and trying to smash the jobs out to increase the margin, they take some of that time away to make sure that there's always more work coming in. So there's no scrambling, there's no stress about, there's no anxiety from your staff members. They don't need to worry, they can relax, they can show up and then do their job a whole lot better, and so can you. You know what the difference is between, a building company that's doing $5 to $10 million a year, and the difference between someone doing $1 million a year is they are always marketing themselves. When they're busy, they keep marketing. When they're slow, they keep marketing, because they understand marketing isn't a tap that you just turn on and off. It's a system that you build that keeps work coming in all the time. So yeah, if you're slammed right now, this is the perfect time, because you've actually got some leg room to build a system because in 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, when those jobs wrap up, what are you gonna do? Yeah, sure, another referral might come in, and so what? Do you just want to keep doing the same thing that you're doing over and over again, or do you want more? I've just gone on over a whole bunch of stuff, right? And really, what this is actually all about, it's not about the money, it's not even about the risk. It's about your identity. When you first started, you were hungry. You would do anything to make it happen, right? You'd figure it out no matter what. That's who you were. That's the person that built the business. That's how you got to where you are today. But somewhere along the way, you've gotten comfortable. There's a bit more money around. You can relax, right? It's not, oh my God, I need to pay the mortgage this week, or maybe it might be, but maybe you're a bit more relaxed about things now, right? But you started protecting what you have instead of chasing what you want. And I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you at all. That's why I'm sitting here on a Saturday morning, nervous as hell about the investment that I just made into our business. But here's what I realized. The version of me that wants to play it safe doesn't deserve the business that I want to build. The version of me that's scared of taking risk won't get the team that is needed in order to build the business that I want to build. And we won't be able to get to where we want to go. That version of me prioritizes comfort. He's not going to be the father that I want to be for my kids. He's not going to be the husband that he needs to be for his wife. He's not going to be the family member, the brother, the son, the nephew to his family. And it's the same for you. If you want to make $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year, heck, even $10 million a year, you've got to think like these guys do. You've got to stop thinking about where you are and your restrictions and your limits, and you're thinking in a very narrow path. You're putting barriers up. You are putting barriers on top of yourself. These guys that are making that money, they don't pray and hope for referrals, right? If you want to be a father, a husband, a leader who is actually present, it's not stressed out all the time, not anxious, not always on edge and just snaps at any moment. Or maybe you're bogged down and you have to numb yourself because sometimes it's too much. Not having to wonder where the next job is coming from. You have to build a business that allows you to be present. If you want to be a leader that your team deserves, you have to give them stability, consistent flow of a pipeline of work coming up. A company they can depend on. That's how you retain and attract A players. You can't do any of that if you're playing safe. That's why these bigger companies will get those guys, because they've got this locked down. So here's what I need you to do, right? This could be great. You've watched this video of this guy talking about all this stuff, and so what, right? But the only thing that's going to help you move forward is you taking action, you actually doing something about this. And you really need to start at not lying to yourself. Stop pretending that waiting for the right time is a strategy. There's never a right time. It's never going to feel okay. Like I made this investment, I was like, fuck, we could wait. Just push it out another month, But then I'm going to get to the end and I'm going to feel the same, because it's not about the situation. It's about how I feel about everything. It's my anxiety. It's my level of comfort. Stop pretending that your excuses are legitimate. They're not. It's just fear waiting in disguise. And I know this because I had to push through this myself in order for me, my business, my team, my family to get to the next level. I needed to talk to my wife. You're scared to make the decision. I'm not sure if it worked. You're scared if it's going to fail. I need to see some proof. You're looking for a reason to say no. And I see through it. I see deep down. So do you. Look, you know what you need to do. I don't need to sit here and tell you. You know that you need a predictable pipeline. You know you need a system. You know you want to make an extra $1 to $5 million a year. And you know you want to scale and do all of this, without that anxiety, that crippling anxiety, right? We can help you do this. We've done it for over 120 plus builders just last year, and arguably one of the hardest economies that it's been in a few years, right? We guarantee that we'll get you 15 quotes in the first 60 days, or we'll just give you your money back. So you don't even take the risk, we take the risk. But here's the thing, I can't want it more than you do. I can give you the system, I can give you the guarantee, I can give you all of the proof, but I can't give you the balls to pull the trigger. That's on you. Whether it's me, whether it's with someone else, I don't really give a shit. You need to do something about your situation. So let me ask you, who are you? Are you the guy who plays it safe? Are you the guy that settles and gets comfortable, who lets fear dictate his decisions? Or are you the guy that built his business from nothing? The guy who risked everything for freedom? The guy who knows he's capable of more? Because that guy, he doesn't hesitate, right? He does the things, he gets up, he does what he needs to do, he takes the shot. He doesn't make excuses. Yeah, maybe it doesn't work out, but we'll refund you anyway. But the thing is, what if it does? What if 12 months from now, you're doing 2.5 million, $5 million, you're doing $7.5 million a year, you've got an extra 3-4 guys on? What if you stop stressing about your pipeline? What if you could be more present? What if you could shop and you could actually enjoy your life more? What if your family, your wife, your kids look at you and go, I'm proud of what you're doing, I'm proud of the risk that you're taking, I see you? What if your kids, the people underneath you, your team, the people that look up to you to lead, can see you doing what needs to be done without other people reassuring them, just doing it anyway? What does that say about you? What does that show? You're leading the way, you are the example. What if your kids see you leading with confidence rather than fear? And look, this is what's on the other side of this decision, right? I'm going to leave a link in the description. Fill out an application, we'll call you within 24 hours. And if you're the right fit, if you're doing over 750K a year, you've got at least a couple guys on board, and you're ready to invest in your growth, we'll show you exactly how we're going to get you 15 quotes in the next 60 days. But if you're not ready, and it's not your time, or you still want to make excuses, do not book in a call. Don't waste yours, don't waste our time. Come back when you're ready to be who you need to be. I wanted to make this video this morning because I was feeling the anxiety of pushing forward, of moving forward, and I was like, shit, you know what? Everyone feels like this when we're about to take a risk. And I wanted to let you know this is what's going on inside of my head. Everything that I've said here, yeah, I talk about my clients like this. I understand the movements, the things that go on inside your head, but it happens to me too. Just like you, deep down, I'm an entrepreneur, right? And look, when we first started, right, it was completely different. We had no money, we had nothing to lose, it was all go. But now that we've got things a little bit sorted, it's harder to make these risks and decisions. But you've got to really think and put your focus instead of the fear on what you actually want, what you actually want to do. And look, if this is not for you, it's totally cool. It doesn't matter. I'm not pressuring or pushing. I'm just calling out those who do want it. That's who I'm speaking to. And I'm calling you out because no one has called me out. I just have to do it. I'm leading the way. I'm doing what I need to do for my family. Look, at the end of the day, I believe in you. I know you can do this. We've done things harder than this, right? Stop making excuses and do what you need to do. Just go and get it done. I'll speak to you soon.